Up to now, this video series has covered some of the fundamental concepts of oscillators and synthesis. It's time to look at our first example of frequency modulation with our oscilloscope and spectrum analyzer. Frequency modulation synthesis takes a very different approach when compared to subtractive synthesis. FM begins with sine waves and creates overtones by using one sine wave to modulate the operating frequency of another sine wave. The mathematics that explain this are a bit mysterious and we won't get into them in these videos. References are linked below for the curious. But this is a really key idea, using one sine wave operator to modulate the frequency of another sine wave operator will produce overtones. Now, finally, an example. We've got our spectrum analyzer here showing us the output of operator 1. Now, using the quad operator's internal routing, we'll send the output of operator 2 to modulate the frequency of operator 1. Both are generating a tone at the same exact audible frequency, but we are only listening to the output of operator 1. So, as I turn up this knob here, I am sending modulation from operator 2 to operator 1. In the parlance of frequency modulation, we call operator 1 the carrier and operator 2 the modulator. We can see that operator 1 begins to produce a number of overtones as we send it modulation from operator 2. You may notice that the peaks of the different overtones move up and down as we send more modulation, including the peak representing our oscillator's fundamental frequency. In essence, operator 2 is manipulating the rate at which operator 1 is running. In effect, this causes operator 1 to draw a different, more complex wave shape instead of a simple sine wave. These added bends and turns result in the additional overtones we hear and see on the spectrum analyzer. So, even though we are not hearing the tone generated by operator 2 directly, operator 2 is dramatically affecting how operator 1 oscillates. And that's frequency modulation in a nutshell. Congratulations! We're through the basics. We've done our first frequency modulation. That's all for the moment, but we'll be discussing frequency modulation in more detail in the coming weeks and months. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube, and stay tuned.